My name is Riley Benson. I wrestled at 160 this weekend in Mandan. Had 7 matches, and 6 of them had pins, and one was a major decision. And wrestled all North Dakota kids, one a peer kid. It was a great tournament. I think as a team we all did well, coming out on top.
I'm Jack Schoenhardt, and I'm the 120-pounder for us, Stevens Raiders. And I got first this weekend. I had about 7 matches, 3 or 4 pins, and I just thought it was a great team win overall. We had some great improvement throughout the weekend, and it was one of our longer tournaments, so I was really impressed by how we all came together as a team, and we won the Mandan Lions wrestling tournament for the first time also.
We get to talk some Stevens Raiders wrestling with their coach Travis King. And Travis, you already got the season going with a trip up to Mandan, North Dakota.
Yeah, it was a beautiful Friday morning early. We watched sunrise on the charter, and when we left there Saturday, it looked like a snow globe. So they were having snow all day long Saturday, so it really reinforced that wrestling's here.
Are there any extra jitters opening the season like that?
Every opening for me is always nervous because there's always new faces and it's a new team, and we always know that we can't rely on the past and we got to make a future. So it's one of those things that I do get some of those competitive flows and the butterflies and the things that your mom used to explain to you. So it's exciting, though. It's an exciting time, also at the same time.
Speaking of the past, Coach, with all the success you've had here at Stevens, does that put pressure on the kids, especially the young ones?
I don't know if it's necessarily pressure, but really, I refer to the wall that you can see in the background, and that has the history of the 53 or 4 years the school's been there. And this program was traditionally came out in the early 1970, and by 1975 and 76 they were already 2-time back-to-back state champs. They had a future Olympic gold medalist on that team. So our standard for me as a Raider growing up as a little guy all the way through the program and now back leading it, I feel it's more of a continuing that tradition. It was the 80s, and we were down in the 90s, and we came back here in the 2000s and the 2010s now, and now we're in the 20s, and the expectation hasn't changed for me or for the kids, I don't think.
And Coach, how did things go up at Mandan?
For the first week, we're always kind of feeling ourselves out. It's kind of that first time you put the tire gauge on your tire to see where you are. And, this weekend we came out of there, actually, for me, my 7th year as Raider wrestling coach, and it was my first Mandan title. It's just not something that's very common for us. Bismarck High School usually wins it, or Sturgis has won it numerous times, and for me, I hadn't. So coming out of there with the title was real exciting for us as a team, because, I did tell the kids that Saturday morning that, we've never won this in our time. We've won a lot of the other tournaments, but not this tournament. So I think that really motivated the kids. Anything you can find to motivate them that day. I'm that kind of guy. We motivate each other and pick each other up when we're down. And so I was real excited. Our team, we placed 13 kids out of the 14 and one of the extras, and we should have probably had all of the kids place. They all wrestled the round to place. We took 16 kids and brought home 14 awards and 3 champions, our seniors. Riley Benson at 160, he won a title there. Jack Schoenhardt and Logan Graff at 120 and 126. So we had some other guys, but we were in the consolation round, winning some matches there and placing a lot of thirds, fourths, fifths. So we were really excited about that.
Coach, what's up next for the Raiders?
Well, this is one of our first big ones for us, Dwight. This is the Rapid City Invite. We co-host this with the Central Cobblers. We also are opening up our dual. We're having a triangular this Thursday, and we've added Gillette High School Thunder Basin Bolts. They're led by a great coach. They're a top Wyoming team right now, and we're gonna put them on at 7 o'clock and take on. We haven't ever wrestled Gillette for a few years due to COVID and previous, as those high schools split, we fell out with Campbell County High School. So we're super excited to wrestle those guys Thursday, and Chamberlain also, they'll open up here and then they'll wrestle. So we'll have a lot of action in what I think is the most beautiful wrestling gym in the state by far. And, the Cobblers are doing the same thing. They'll be up in Sturgis doing their quads. So we're excited, and it's a quick turnaround to one of probably the second biggest tournament of our season. So we compete in the Rumble on the Red up at the Fargo Dome over the holiday, but that's a 90 type high school tournament. This is a 40 plus high school tournament. So, if you can make good in these kind of tournaments, you'll definitely see you have a good idea who has great shots at placing, because it may be harder to place in this one than your own state meet. So we're super excited, a little bit nervous also. Again, got a lot to do, a lot of work to do to make that thing right. So got a big week for us.
And Coach, how about the girls program?
We had two beginning girls come out, Shelby Bram and Trinity, and Duran. And they both went up there, and those girls, their combined record was, 7-5, and we brought home 4th and 5th, and it was their first competitions, and we're excited about that. We hope to grow that number. You heard me talking earlier, I got some plans for this area's girls wrestling. Like I said, prior to COVID, it was the fastest growing thing in the world, and I still believe it is, and I still believe that we can provide the same kind of example and leadership and mentorship to those individuals that we do for the boys. So, my 7th year, and I've had girls wrestling on my team every single year, so my teams always expect that, we're a set of hands and feet, and we got to treat each other right and trust them. And, our two girls are fitting in great here this season, and we have goals for them too. They need to be state place winners, put their name on the wall. So future's bright for them, and I'm super excited, and I'm going to find a way to make that the best possibility for all those young girls out here in this area, and at potentially other high schools. So more to come on that, Dwight.
Coach, what's the key to your success here at Stevens?
I use the same thing that this program was built on. Coach Long, he was a Hall of Fame legendary guy, and he said every time, and I can remember as being an elementary school kid, 80% of success is to show up, and I tell the kids every day that, that's part of it. When we're here, you got to show up, bring your effort and your attitude, and, try to get better that day. And that's always been kind of where we've been the staple of us. And, to get that through to no matter which generation you're pushing that, I still believe that that's the key to the success, other than, the hard work. There's no shortcut in wrestling, Dwight. You can't find any shortcut to the championship. It's nothing but a blue collar sport where the hard work must be there in order for you to have the opportunity to do those things. And I can't tell the kids that enough, and that's how we wrestle, and that's how we train.
All right, Coach King, always good to visit with you about the Stevens wrestling program.
Yeah, thanks, Dwight. We always appreciate you guys. This is great. We want to be one of those schools that helps promote this. And Black Hills Television, you've been really supportive of us, and, we're excited and always here for you. We want to grow that for you guys, and it helps us for exposure. I always used to tell the athletic director, I wish there was windows on these walls so that people outside would really see what we do inside here, because it is pretty amazing every day.